What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 1038 of Flow Wrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles. Today, I am joined by the usual crew. He's back. Thank goodness. We missed him so dearly. J.D. Raider. He's got his best lawn mowing shoes on. Oh, I knew he was going to do it. I even asked him. I said, Tyler, did you cut your volume off? He's like, yeah, cut it off. And then he leaves it on.
My name's Andrew Spay.
Oh, yeah, this is Andrew Spay, by the way, because he's got Spay speed dealers on. Mm-hmm. That's what the kids call cool sunglasses. Mm-hmm. But the story is they were just on that desk because I guess Spay abandoned them. And now
you're just abandoning the bit right away. Oh. I was going to pretend to be Spay for a while.
The #1 anime fan in...
You know what? Forget it. I was going to do a whole thing. I thought we could riff off of it for a little bit.
I didn't know I was supposed to really...
You immediatally gave away my identity.
I didn't really know.
They couldn't tell who I was.
I guess we didn't really plan this very much. This was an idea 1 minute. So I'm already sorry. I'm already feeling terrible. But we also have David Bray here, who's rocking the speed dealers.
David Spay.
David Spay, and this is how flip him up a little bit higher on the noggin.
More, yeah.
Go back. There we go.
There we go.
This is more in the stylings. Now you don't have near the swoop that Andrew has.
No,
but he rides those things. It almost looks like what are those things called that girls wear?
Headband?
Like headband, yeah.
Like a girl's headband, and he wears it. But
he needs it. He needs it to contain that flow. He's got a real head of hair. Real head of hair.
Christian goes, what's that like band that you put on your head that girls wear? A headband?
Sometimes the words escape me. You know what? I don't appreciate it. Oh, this guy. All right. Well, he has his karate classes in this dude's garage, and he's training with his buddies and doing some wrestling stuff. And someone walks by, and it was someone who wrestled at Minnesota, and we're just it was someone that was like on the team at Minnesota. It's like comes up, introduces him. He doesn't even know who it was. He thinks his name might have been Matt.
Yeah,
and that's all the information we have. Is like, man, if it was someone that wrestled walking by my garage while I'm getting to know someone, so that's.
I think it was Matt.
Based on the description, I think it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I think Brock Lesnar swung by. So we got a lot to get into today. We're getting into AJ Ferrari's latest moves, a Carter Starocci weight change, the dwindling school list of Bo Bassett. Mm-hmm. We're getting down to the mid 60s.
Yeah, he cut 7.
I think 70s.
Boom. See ya.
He cut mid 70s.
Yeah, well, it started with 80. And now we're at 73.
Oh my gosh, I thought it started at 73. So we're all right, low 70s already. It seemed like just yesterday we were at 80 plus. Mm-hmm. So that's a dwindling list. We're going to talk about Sidakov to MMA potentially and all types of other things. So, but first we'll kick it to JD for the opening round. Welcome back. You maybe some address the concerns that many fans had over your health.
The haters, the ops. I think they're trying to get me down. They poisoned me. They didn't want to see me on FRL, but I'm back. You can't keep me off too long. I was diabolically sick on Monday, so I apologize
diabolically
for my actions, for my absence. I am normally a very healthy person. I very rarely get sick. I think this might be like the first time I've ever called out in like the 4.5 years I've worked. Maybe one other time or something.
I can't think of any.
Yeah, so it was pretty bad. But I'm back, just like that.
He looks good as new.
Good as new.
It could have been a cleansing thing.
Yeah, just a nice little cleanse. Had to get all the toxins out from
Some people pay extra to do
that's
what
right.
you did.
Yeah, from a fun weekend at the Cultural Series in Omaha.
Did you actually go to games?
Mm-hmm. I didn't go into the game, but we were thinking about it Sunday or Saturday, but the games got delayed until like 10:30 at night. One didn't start until like midnight or something.
Oh my gosh.
But JD led our team. He was our team captain in volleyball, beach volleyball. To our last season, we were the team champions. Maps. And first game of the new season, JD's out, we lose.
Yeah, it was tough. I couldn't even make it to the volleyball game.
Yeah,
brutal. So you know it was serious.
Yeah.
Dang.
The team needed me most.
You got
let him down.
So. You got big Top Gun beach volleyball energy, JD.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see you doing the 5 here and then down here.
Oh yeah.
JD has some of the best celebrations.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll involve the middle finger.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, opening round. AJ Ferrari is out here taking college visits, not to Iowa. What happened and where's he going?
Okay, so AJ, he announced, I guess early this week, he was leaving Iowa, that he was no longer going to be there, that they were not an option. Then next thing we know, Mr. Fast switched to the Bears, ? Bear emoji. emoji in front of a giant bear.
Who's also flexing.
So doubles of the flexes. And so his first visit is to Northern Colorado. And, I'm what I want to know is who else has reached out to AJ? Where else is he looking? Obviously, Northern Colorado the transfer is kind of what they do. I mean, Andrew Lear is one of the big recruits they've gotten from year one, but oftentimes
kind of transfer though. They got him out of the transfer portal this year.
Now, to really fit in, he had to go into the portal and he had to go to Northern Colorado to really be one of the guys. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, Northern Colorado, how interesting would that lineup be with two national champions?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have Alirez, who's national champ 2 years ago. AJ won it in 2021, and then other guys who are solid, who have been ranked in the All-American position. They haven't finished that high, but Steve O'Poulin has been ranked probably as high as like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. Vinny Zerban was ranked second at certain points of the year last year. So you got a lot of firepower all of a sudden in Greeley potentially.
Hey, think about this: 2 national champions, 2 more All-Americans. Trophy team?
Oh, no, I knew he was going to say it. He was going to say the T word.
What it looks like.
Trophy for the Bears?
The summer is the time you put the cart way in front of the horse. That's what we're doing. But, I mean, if they had 2 champs and 2 All-Americans, well, that's 40, 60-some points.
So if you look at the rankings at 197, right now in our rankings, number 1 is Carter Starocci. We don't know for sure if he's going to go 197. The next highest ranked guy is Stephen Buchanan. Ferrari's 2-0 against Buchanan.
Yeah, he is.
So, I don't know.
AJ the wrestler, how do we view him right now? Because we have not seen him really do a full season since 2022. 2022. And then he had the wreck, and then that shut that season down. We didn't see him the next year. Then he did the Soldier Salute where he looked fine, but not great, certainly not AJ level. And the word was he was out of the lineup for a long time. Or out of training for a long time. So that was, how much was that holding him back? So there is still some question, like, man, how much untapped potential? Because he won NCAAs as a true freshman, year 1. So still, you would assume there's still some development there to be had for a guy, even though he was already at the top. So maybe he could get a lot better, and maybe you don't react or overreact. But ultimately, like, the reason that this guy's gone from Oklahoma State to wanting to go to Iowa and now he's looking at Northern Colorado is that the number of suitors that list has dwindled from what it once was. And so who else is still going to enter that conversation, to me, is the most interesting part. So I think there's no denying what AJ can do on the map, but which teams are going to be able to administratively pull off getting him on the team is what I'm curious to learn.
It's too late in the game to probably see him anywhere first semester. Yeah? No?
I don't think so.
I don't think so?
Not at all.
Okay.
You get in quick.
Yeah, you can enroll the day before classes start.
I guess, yeah.
Ain't no biggie.
Yep.
What Tyler, are you still pouting that I stepped on your bit?
No.
Okay.
I just didn't have anything to add
Oh, that's fine.
to the AJ
Hey,
Ferrari conversation.
We mentioned Carter Starocci. We're not exactly sure, what weight he's going to go. We thought 197 because that's what he said, but is he still going to go 197?
I don't know. I think more and more, I think he's going 184. I think that's internally, I think that's where Penn State thinks he's probably going to wind up. I don't know if it's the best. I obviously Carter can go whatever weight he wants and do really well, but for 197, that means if he goes 84, that means Josh Barr is kind of out of his ideal weight class and maybe has to go up to 197. Or maybe you have to do something like use Hunter Morrisolo year 1. Or they have Lucas Cochran, who made some waves last year. He beat Big Slav up at heavyweight, but he's a 97-pounder. So this could be his opportunity to get in the lineup. I think he would be just fine and maybe be my pick to be the starter. I don't know if he or Barr, who would be the better guy at 197. So I think more and more, just reading tea leaves and murmurs from around the way, I think Carter might be going 184, which, of course, sets up the match of matches for the upcoming season if he does do that, which is Parker Keckeisen versus Carter Starocci. What?
Be honest. Would you rather see Parker Keckeisen versus Starocci or AJ Ferrari?
Okay.
versus Carter Starocci. And I know you're gonna say which one's a better match. That's not what I want to hear. I want to hear which one would you rather see.
Well,
and the hype leading up to it.
Do you like to watch a car crash, or do you like to watch,
Sometimes car crashes are so good you can't look away.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
That's
I
what
want to
happens.
see the
People
car
like
crash.
car crashes. No, I am just genuinely less interested in that match. But I'm a diehard. The kids or other
Mr.
people.
Purist.
I'm not purist. Like I'm just less interested in what those guys do. Those two do technically versus what Parker Keckeisen does. I think it would be a boring match with antics versus I think Parker and Carter is just way more exchanges.
Which going into a tournament, those guys are going to collide. Which one do you think turns more heads, though?
Yeah, of course. AJ versus Carter. AJ versus anyone is probably going to just have a gravitational pull. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. I think Parker's pace and how many ways he can score versus Carter's just – Carter also his pace and the ways he can score. I think that it would be a better match, like as far as just what happens within end to end.
Correct. I agree. Probably better match, more interesting. But I like the hype. I like that. I don't think a casual fan is really coming up to me and talking about Parker Keckeisen versus Carter Starocci. But AJ versus Carter Starocci, a lot more random people are going to come up to me and talk about that match. There's going to be a lot more hype surrounding that match. Get a lot more eyeballs.
Yeah.
So, and I like, sue me. I like the hype. I like the excitement.
I was
Be careful saying sue me because you could get sued.
That's true.
And
That's true. Don't sue me.
Yeah, don't sue him.
I was shocked when Chael called AJ on the show like a few weeks ago and asked AJ what he thought of Carter Starocci and how respectful AJ was. He was just like, I would love the opportunity. He's a great wrestler. I kind of want them to chirp at each other a little bit.
It wouldn't take long.
Yeah, I think we would have to call the other party for that to start.
Oh yeah. I don't even want to think what Carter would say about AJ Ferrari. But yeah,
Or what did he do to his graveyard?
it's funny how desecrate it. But with AJ, it's funny or interesting. Like both those guys won their first title in 2021, and now Carter's about to win or is going to try to win his 5th NCAA title, and AJ still has 3 years remaining.
That's insane.
It's nuts.
Can we
Also, before you do it, let me do it.
Yeah.
We need to. I don't know who makes. Well, I think USA Wrestling does it. They need to incinerate the Olympic red shirt, whatever it is. You should have to at the minimum. I agree. I don't think like the criteria for it, whatever, is bad or how they get. You have to at least attempt to make the Olympic team. You have to enter a tournament. At least pretend. And let's be honest. Some people get Olympic red shirts because they want to make the team. Some people get Olympic red shirts to prolong their eligibility, to preserve eligibility, or because they just want to train or whatever. Some are pretending, some are actually trying. But you should at least have to pretend to try. The fact that you can retroactively get an Olympic red shirt when you had no intention to attempt to make an Olympic team makes it make no sense. So you got to change that.
To clarify, you said we should incinerate the Olympic red shirt at the beginning. You don't want to get rid of the Olympic. Yes.
Process.
You want to redo the process.
Start over.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to start over. Light the one on fire and
Yes.
let's start over with one that makes sense where you have to at least try. The Olympic red shirt is for people that are trying to make the Olympic team.
Because right now
That's what it's for.
We're sitting in a situation where Gable Steveson could also potentially have taken a retroactive Olympic red shirt.
Yeah.
If he wanted to wrestle this year, he could.
He's having cage matches and he could get an Olympic red shirt, and this guy is not even entering any tournaments, just a soldier salute. No, you're not. You don't get the Olympic red shirt for that. I'm sorry.
I used to be, and then I've changed my tune on this take, but I used to be anti all red shirts.
Wow.
Where it should just be like high school, like you get your 4 years. Like this, you're supposed to be a student athlete. It shouldn't be that much different than high school. You get your 4 years. If you get hurt, sorry. If Olympics is that year, figure it out. But I've since changed my tune on that because you can make money in college and grow your brand and everything that comes around that. So
Well,
it is
also
more of a business. But yeah, I used to be like, why is there a red shirt here? Like we don't have red shirts in high school, most of us.
Well, also it's for some kids it's hard to get a degree and wrestle in 4 years. A lot of kids need that 5th year.
Yeah, well, okay, what if I wanted to take an extra year of high school? What if it was hard for me to finish high school?
It's not hard to finish high school.
Not high school though.
I know, but same thing. Like, okay, but you could have. Like,
Yeah, you can.
the
You
average.
go to high school for 5 years.
That's true.
The
No rules, no laws
You
against.
can't wrestle for
Did
4
you
years,
see-
for
did you
5
see
years.
the story about the basketball player that graduated and didn't think he was ready for college basketball, so he just moved states and tried to enroll in a different school so he could play like another year to get recognized by college
I
coaches.
feel like
more.
that would work. Did he get away
It
with
almost-
it?
You can't do
almost.
that, can you?
No.
Yeah, like you're not allowed to compete in the sport in high school for more than 4 years, right?
Correct.
I don't think so.
But the average student goes for
Even if you move states,
yeah, if you get your degree, he graduated. He got his degree.
he got his high school diploma.
Yes.
2 degrees. What's wrong with that?
He double major. He wanted a double major.
Double major.
But with that argument, well, what if like you want to continue on and go further in school? Well, I'm still in school. I should be able to still compete.
You know, if he's in AP classes, you know, it could be adding to it.
You know how I feel about that. I think you should be able to wrestle in college as long as you want.
That was Ben also said that.
I think it would be great. I mean, like we don't have any professional.
Except you had another year of eligibility and you left.
Yeah, I wasn't that good.
I disagree. Next year could have been your year.
I don't
That's
hate that
true.
take as long as you're still in college.
No, I love it. I like it how it is. I like a red
Except
shirt.
the Olympic red shirt.
I like Olympic red shirt. I don't like fake Olympic red
How
shirt.
do you feel about medicals?
I support them. I support medical red shirts.
That would throw a wrench in recruiting if guys could just stay as long as they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. So it'd be the same people forever. Don't you love the variety that you get?
Well,
Anyway.
then that's the game within the game.
Wouldn't it be awesome
When,
if
when do you get a guy to leave, or when do you keep him?
is there a guy who has stopped competing that's in the last 4 years that you wish was still around that is still young enough to continue competing?
No, look at like fan sentiment. Like it's like how much, and of course the COVID thing impacted that. But everyone's like, this guy's still around. People are ready. They like the change, different pools and talents. Like the same guys always wrestling every time. And like it does sort of get
The reason we don't love
tedious.
dynasties, and we want to see dynasties.
Yeah.
lose.
I don't know. I thought it was awesome watching Dakin Burrows try to make the team all those years.
That wasn't college though.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's similar. Like the senior, what's different about the senior level? Like that is exactly the thing that you're complaining about. But you love senior level wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, well, they didn't wrestle that much. How many matches total over like 10
Yeah.
years?
10
years they had like,
It'd have been cooler if we got to see them wrestle more, though.
yeah.
Yeah.
True.
He goes, yeah. Wait.
But that's not, yeah. All right. Let's move off this. It's really boring.
All right. How do we feel about Bo Bassett's style that he's doing for committing to a school, just eliminating 7 a
Wait,
week?
I thought we were going to talk more like who would win, Parker or Carter. That's what I was trying to get us on that
Okay.
that train. Like,
Okay.
who is the favorite? Is Carter Starocci the clear favorite to win that match?
I don't think he's clear, but that's probably where I'd put my shekels. Without
Shekels.
Where would you
without
put your
seeing him
dinar?
at the weight yet? You know, if we see him at the weight and he's having a bunch of close matches with tight guys, but I just don't think that's the case. I think he's I don't want to say generational talent, but he's up there.
Let me tell you where I'll put my doubloons. No, I agree. I think also Carter. Yeah, he's just like, who has he lost to?
DJ
In college.
DJ Washington.
Okay, his freshman year.
I mean, you're asking. It's a really.
Yeah, I'm saying-
it's really Michael Kemmer.
I don't
DJ
know. I
Washington.
think that if I was, I don't know. I guess it's tough. Who would you think would win between Mackay and Parker?
Parker.
Yeah,
Absolutely. No, without no
in
doubt.
freestyle.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know why I asked. that.
Probably.
I'm thinking about freestyle
Greco?
for some reason. I was because maybe that's the last time I saw Carter wrestle. But
Yeah.
It could be like kind of like a Brooks Amin type of thing where, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Parker got him one time, but I think, like I said, without having any data at Carter at this weight, he probably wins most of the time. I think he just has that winning X factor in college.
That's where I'm at with it too.
Like what he just did on a bum leg at the NCAA championships unreal. It's just he's got that dog in him, just that thing where it's just like, I'm gonna win.
So I feel like also Parker is a guy that can really overwhelm you with his pressure in the way that like Mitchell does too to guys. When have you ever seen Carter get overwhelmed with pressure, overwhelmed in a hand fight?
Here's what I was going to say. Who have we seen Carter against that's just like, this is an offensive, high output, lot of score guys? I don't think there's many guys he's faced like that. Mackay certainly wasn't. Labriola was not.
Griffith isn't.
I would say Kimmer is probably the best example of a guy shoot, and he gave him lots of problems and even beat him.
Good point.
So I feel like there hasn't been anyone, especially the last couple of years, that is anywhere close to. I'm not even saying necessarily ability, but just stylistically like Parker, where they just have so much offense, such a good feel. They just see how it all comes together. Great leg attacks.
I like the comparison to Kemmerer, but I'm at the same place where Carter won.
Not every time.
Not every time.
Was it 2 out of 3?
Well, yes, they had the crazy Carver match, which was pretty controversial, and so it's 2 out of 3. But Parker Keckeisen is better than Michael Kemmerer, right? So it's a different level. This guy bonused his way through the NCAA tournament. Every single person he wrestled, he bonused. Like, that's rarefied air. Not many people have done that. Carter Starocci hasn't done that. He's scored mega points before, but
Kemmerer might also be one of the better guys to have never won a national title.
Injuries obviously hurt him, and when he lost in 2021, that was a really pretty big upset. He was beaten kind of soundly in the Big Ten finals by Kemmerer, and then Carter figured it out. And same thing with Jaden Ironman and Nick Lee. Jaden won.
Like, Kemmerer's a guy who beat Mark Hall, who was stuck behind Jason Nolf. Like, this is, I think it wouldn't be crazy to compare Kemmerer to Parker.
I don't think it's crazy, but I mean the results are different for sure.
Yeah,
I think I don't know. I don't want to compare those guys too much. I think one of the things that's awesome about the possibility of a match between Keckeisen and Starocci is that these are two guys in NCAA wrestling who I think have improved year over year more than just about anybody. And we saw Starocci go from a guy that couldn't be beat to all of a sudden a guy that can score a ton of points. Didn't happen at NCAAs to the same degree because of the injury, but he just got a lot better. And Keckeisen was the same way. I mean, he became so dominant and just, he was such a force. It was like a foregone conclusion he was going to win. And that's what I love about it is like you've got two guys who are clearly obsessed. They're clearly evolving as wrestlers. And now, for them to have the possibility to hit, I think it's two of the best wrestlers, two of the most advanced wrestlers in the whole entire field that we could see in a pound for pound type of matchup.
Maybe let's boil it down. Like, do you see a scenario where either rides the other?
I see a scenario where Carter rides Parker.
I thought you would say that, but I don't know. I don't know if he would.
You asked me if I see a scenario.
Was Brooks able to ride Parker at all?
I don't believe so.
I don't remember a substantial ride.
I don't think so.
I'd have to go back and look.
I'd have to. I'm trying to think back of a time where I've seen Parker ridden. I feel like he's really solid there. Like, this is a match where it's not clear to me who the better scrambler would be. Who would be better in exchanges?
Yeah.
They're both really, really good at finishing leg attacks. Like, super good. I think it's ultimately I'm like JD. It's like I can give myself all the reasons to pick Parker, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna have a hard time picking anyone but Carter.
He's got that dog in him.
Parker's one of my favorite wrestlers in the NCAA.
He's so good. He's absolutely sick.
It's hard to pick against.
I'm
Carter.
so sad he didn't even try to make the Olympic team. He's so good. Like, I mean, Aaron Brooks made it. Like, you've had close matches with Aaron Brooks. It would have been fun to see, but apparently he literally had no interest in it, which is crazy.
Sometimes you need a break.
It's every 4 years.
You know who doesn't need a break? Mr. Machine Gun Mindset.
How do we
feel about Bachelor Bo handing out roses each week to his college suitors?
Wait, on The Bachelor, so just catch me up. On The Bachelor, the guy hands a rose to someone that's kicked out, or
I'm not exactly
No.
sure.
The people who stay get the rose.
Okay, so he's gonna buy.
That'd be kind of funny. You could give a rose on the way out.
His rose budget's insane, because if every week or so he's handing out starting with 80, 73 roses. Listen, as a guy that's bought his wife flowers over the years, those prices are only going up. So unless he can,
That's something we don't talk about enough is how sky high the rose prices
oh my
are.
gosh.
I'm to invest in a greenhouse at the Bassett household.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Unless he's got his own in on these roses.
You buying your wife roses? That's kind of tacky.
What?
What do you mean?
Man, you crazy?
Roses, tacky flower. Everyone knows it.
Yellow roses is her favorite flower.
Okay, I take it back.
Rube.
I didn't know that Katie's favorite flower was rose. I was trying to pick on you.
Yeah.
Katie, I'm so sorry.
She's so mad right now.
Red roses, though, tacky.
Really? I think they're beautiful. Well, I mix it up. I don't always go roses. Sometimes you get a flower. So, depends on the occasion.
If Bo was real classy, he'd be handing out lilies.
Really?
That's a classy flower right there.
So totally unpractical.
Okay, forget the flower talk. What's going on with Bo?
I think you should give out a whole sunflower.
Okay.
in a pot.
What's going on with Bo, JD?
We just covered it. The flower.
Well, he didn't say exactly what. Yeah.
This man, he lives for content, and he is giving it to us each week by just
check the
dropping
graphic.
off 7
Yeah.
schools from this incredible graphic.
Well,
every week.
The funny thing was how excited Spay was, because I almost felt bad that that we were talking about suggesting this. Like, all right, someone's got to put all the schools on his list and then look at the original list and see which ones didn't make it before he figured out the ones that got cut off. There's still a lot on there. This is quite a collection.
Yeah.
Every team.
We're lucky that we have one of the top spreadsheet professionals in the game, Andrew Spay.
Absolutely.
Because
He's a freak in the sheets.
He
Absolutely.
really is. He put all 80 of the first schools on the spreadsheet, and then just had to go through, cross cross check and see which ones are off. So we've got an article on the site that's listed the 7 who have been eliminated. But this is great because now every week for weeks we're just going to have to look at this graphic and figure out who's gone.
Verbal meme, the Grim Reaper slaying all the doors, the blood coming out. You can just put up the school's graphic.
Somebody could make their own graphic that pairs with this one, and it's just Grim Reaper plus all the dead schools.
Plus ultimately 79 schools.
When I was in Pennsylvania, I was filming Bo, and I was asking him about that graphic. He's like, it took me so long. He's like, shout out to all the schools that put their logos with a transparent background online. He's like,
Bo
it
made this himself?
saved me so much time. Yeah.
I assume somebody else.
It's like take forever to remove the background on
Experience of the
logos.
Content game.
Yeah.
I asked Bo how long it took him to make that, and he said it took him most of 2 periods in school.
Hey, that's an efficient way to spend school.
That's interesting. Okay.
Elsewhere in the news world, still an opening round. Sidakov, he's done. No Olympics for him. He has said as much, and he is highly considering a move to MMA. Do we think he's actually going to go to MMA, and if so, how would he do?
I think. Well, he's 28. I looked that up. I think right now he's probably just sad and just saying things and emotional that he doesn't get to wrestle in the Olympics. And yeah, I'll go MMA, and maybe he will, but he might. If I had to guess, I think he'll return to wrestling before he goes into MMA. At this stage, it's like, what is he, a 155 at the UFC? Probably on a 36-hour weigh-in or whatever the ridiculous weigh-in rules there. So, like, can you start? I know you can start late in MMA, as a bigger guy. Can you do that as a middleweight or a lightweight at 155? That seems like a tough transition, and it's a tough mountain to climb. There's not as much money in it as there probably is for him in wrestling, if I had to guess.
Here's what I'm more interested in, because Kozak reached out to a guy we met at Worlds this past year, who kind of has a connection to Sidakov, and he said that he's not completely closed to the idea of wrestling this year.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Here's what's got me really excited. So he wants to wrestle this year. Non-Olympic Worlds. What if we had Zauerbek Sidakov versus Jordan Burroughs at the non-Olympic Worlds? Because I don't think Jordan's done. I think he's going to try to make this world team and win another world title at 79, which is a better weight class for him. And Sidakov may say, hey, I'll go there. And he almost assuredly would make that, would be the number 1 rep for Russia. And then you have Jordan Burroughs versus Zauerbek Sidakov, part 3. Now, of course,
Assuming Jordan has to make it.
Jordan has to make the team. He may have to go. Now, we don't know who Jordan would necessarily have to go through. I had heard, on the one hand, chances done going down to 79. He's going to stay up at 86. And then I heard last week, or like a week or two ago, like, no, he wants to come down. He's fired up after the Olympic trials and wants to make his way down to 79 and make another world team. So we could have another Burroughs Marsteller 2 out of 3, or maybe Nolf. We could see Jordan get an opportunity for revenge against Jason Nolf, or who knows who else would throw their hat in the ring. Does Carter Starocci say, I want that? And then ultimately, man, if we got Sauerbeck versus Jordan Burroughs, 79 non-Olympic worlds, that would be incredible, incredible.
It's one of the greatest rivalries of wrestling. I mean,
Some would say it's not a rivalry.
you could say it's not a rivalry, but dude, this man kept Jordan Burroughs was like 6 seconds away from 2 more world titles.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's insane.
No, I would be super.
And in both matches, Jordan did what Jordan Burroughs does, and like you're like, oh my god, he clutched it again. And then Sidakov does what Sidakov does, and then it's like, no, Sidakov clutched it.
He reclutched.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and those were both at 74, not at 79, so it could be a different story.
Did we talk
79.
about or see the did you guys see the video of Sidakov talking about and comparing Burroughs and Dake?
We didn't
He
talk about
thinks
that.
Burroughs is better, harder to wrestle. He said
He's like iron.
Burroughs always keeps
Metal.
you. Yeah, he said Burroughs always keeps you on your toes. Like Dake, he feels like he could kind of get into his rhythm and kind of that style, but he's like, you always got to be ready for Burroughs.
And he also said that Dake gets tired.
Mm-hmm.
He got him tired.
Yeah, he said in the first period, in the second period, he felt different than the first.
Yeah.
He was
Which
like,
is something we've kind of observed with Dake. Like, you always wonder, like, you see him and, like, his body language. Dake's always kind of like, his mouth will be wide open and it'll look like he's huffing and puffing, but he always wrestles. But you wonder what his opponents are feeling. And according to Sidakov, like, you can feel a difference from period 1 to period 2 with Kyle.
he was like, Jordan, you have to be worried at the end of a match. He's like, that's when he's most dangerous.
Yeah. So true. So true. And it's still so crazy.
It was funny saying he said his body is like metal.
Yeah.
He's like, it's hard to tie up with him. He's like, Dake is strong as well, but which I thought it was interesting because you feel like Jordan had just as tough of a cut to 74 as Dake does, because he was like, Dake cuts too much to 74.
Yeah. True.
One thing, you said he could probably make more money in wrestling. I don't know if that's the case.
Well, ultimately, the highest it's a probability thing. Gable Steveson could make more money in WWE than wrestling if he made it to the Roman Reigns
Right.
level. But, so yeah, if you're the UFC champion, you can make more. But, like, the probability that he's going to start the sport at age 28 and reach the levels you need to reach to make crazy money, whereas, like, you think about what a Sajalayev type makes in wrestling, that's far more attainable for Sidakov, in my opinion. That's just my read on the situation.
Take Olympics out of that, it might not be quite the same.
Yeah.
He
is an Olympic champion, though.
I have a
That's,
rush.
well, that's why I think, and so he would be managed by Ali Abdelaziz, who's the #1 MMA manager, promoter, like in the game, could kind of fast track him a little bit, get him 2-3 fights, signed by the UFC or something like that.
Yeah.
I have a Russian geography question.
Shoot, where's Spay? Hey, patch Spay into my earpiece.
Hold on, Spay, let me grab the sunglasses. No, Ossetia is where Sidakov's from. Are they as like big in MMA? Like, because Dagestan, they got freestyle wrestling on lock. They got MMA fighters like Sambo on lock. Ossetia, like I know a lot of Ossetian wrestlers.
They're very big into MMA as well.
They're big in MMA as well.
But, like, who's, like, the best Ossetian MMA fighter?
I don't know.
There's a bunch of Dagestan, obviously.
Yeah, like, you know them.
Chimaev, Islam, like, those are 3, like.
I think it's just kind of the same thing where the Dagestani MMA fighters are just now kind of rising to prominence, and there's a much higher percentage of Dagestani high-level wrestlers as well. You can name a lot more Olympic champion, world champion Dagestanis than Ossetians, because there's more. Same thing with MMA. Like, there hasn't been that one guy to come up through yet, but they're coming.
Cool.
So the guy who actually did the interview was Tajikistani, not Ossetian.
Okay,
So
great to know.
Good stuff. Yeah, hope to see Sidakov continue wrestling.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of like to see him in MMA, but
The thing is, MMA annoys me. I have to wait years for this guy to get to anything that you can watch, and then you get to watch him once, twice a year. It's like, my
that's
God.
how I watch him now, once or twice a year.
I know. Now he wrestles more than that, but he gets like in a tournament, there's 5 matches.
Not when his country is banned. I don't.
Yeah.
All right, quick speed round for just with some other news items. Russia will probably be sending their 4 freestylers. Still TBD, but they're going to back their guys. Mongush at 57, Mamadov at 65, Bagayev at 86, and Kurbanov at 125.
I have one interesting note about that. Bagayev. So Bagayev was their 86 kilo guy last year. He took 5th at Worlds, and kind of regarded as not as good as Nafanov. But now if they send him, he will be the 7 seed over Kurugliev, which would bump Kurugliev down, probably would bump Kurugliev down to the 8 seed and put him on the other side of the bracket.
Oh.
Which means
A little more parity.
Yeah, exactly.
The bottom side was way crazier. Right?
Yeah.
Bagayev and Brooks had a good U23 World Semifinal last year that Brooks won. I think the final was 5-4. 2 takedowns to 1. Brooks won.
Yeah, so you look at a guy like Kurugliev is a little more dangerous maybe than Bagayev. So having him on the other side of the bracket.
Kurugliev's past his prime.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking. Maybe that's not true, but I'd be a little more worried about Bagayev.
You think so?
I think
Yeah.
Kurugliev's better.
I think Kurugliev is better.
I think you just don't. I'm just saying I think that we're going to see more progression from Bagayev versus a guy like Kurugliev. He's been the same guy since 2017, 2018. Like, I don't think he's gotten that much better.
if he shows progression between last year and the Olympics, then yeah, that could be
this
true.
man is 23 years old, or about 23. So I think he would worry me a little bit more. Kurugliev.
That's your opinion. But no, yeah, I don't know. I still think that having that switch up in the seeds could kind of makes the other side of the bracket a little more cool.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of switch up in the seeds. Like 97 is going to be huge, but we still need to know who exactly is going to get pulled in at the weights. They're not sending guys until we for sure know all the Olympic seeds. Other speed round news items: Donnie Pritzloff, new head coach at Columbia.
Yeah.
I think that's a good hire.
I think it's a really good hire. I think many people have been waiting for the day when Donnie Pritzloff got his opportunity to be a head coach. I mean, it feels like 10, 15 years ago, it was like, this is one of the top assistants in the country. He's the heir apparent to Barry Davis. That didn't materialize, so he's kind of bounced around a little bit. Michigan, Rutgers, everywhere he goes, nobody says a bad word about him. Everyone speaks so highly of just who he is as a guy, but like just his ability to coach wrestling is never been questioned. So now he gets his opportunity, his own program. Columbia, under the radar, been doing a really nice job the last couple of years, getting guys to the tournament. Had an All-American last year. So I think it's a really, really good hire. People are excited about it. I'm excited for Donnie to get that opportunity. It's a blow to Rutgers. That is not knowledge that you just backfill with. I don't know who they're looking at, and Rutgers will be fine, but that you don't just replace Donnie Pritzloff.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is almost as notable as him going to Columbia. It's the opening that now exists at Rutgers.
Other coaching carousel news: Aiden Hidley to Stanford.
He's moving more and more west.
Yep.
Soon he'll be the coach at Kamehameha High School. Good move.
Good move.
Good pickup.
Tony Cassiope to Wisconsin.
Okay.
McFadden to Cornell.
That's a good hire.
And former Loper Matt Malcolm to NDSU.
Oh, wow. Lopes.
Slope.
Good for the Lopers. Loper takeover.
And last speed round news item: Nick Piccinini won his last MMA fight. He's now 6-0.
Let's go. What is he in?
He looks yoked.
Yo. Yeah.
He is yoked.
I know, but he's way more yoked than he was in college, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what
So it's
organization.
JD,
he
bro.
plays for.
This is what happens.
Maybe.
Yoking season.
Yoking season.
All right.
6-0. He's in what? What is he?
I don't know. PFL maybe or Bellator. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited.
I am too.
I love
doing well.
Pitch is a good
So.
dude.
Yes, he is. Now, moving on. It's Thursday. We got another draft.
Oh,
doing.
boy.
Draft City. This time, we're doing upsets.
Oh, boy.
That's the only criteria. Upsets.
Upsets.
I gotta pull
David
my
Bray?
phone out.
What if it made me upset?
Oh.
I don't think that qualifies.
Okay.
Well,
I'd probably veto
it's
that.
intentionally vague. The criteria, you can pick whatever you want.
Yeah. Got it. Oh,
Ray,
yeah.
you want to hit us with a list generator to
I got it. I got the
fill out this snake draft?
We should be live when you do the generator.
All right.
That'd be amazing radio. People would just love it.
I mean,
They would like that more than the draft itself. Just watching you
Look,
do a random.
I'll do it right now. We can do it live.
redoing it.
I'll redo it. I had it. So I'll just I'll put your names in. I guess from JD to Tyler.
Or we just see you, so we're just
Okay.
watching you do it instead of the.
No, it's up on the screen.
Okay.
You will be able to see it.
Okay.
I'll wait till it's on the screen and then I'll randomize and then you guys will have the ability to.
Okay.
See it. So.
Wow, this is high tech.
So this is a this is a great visual. I'm going to randomize right here. Boom, randomize, and it's CP followed by Tyler followed by JD. That's our order.
I'll take it.
All right.
That's actually the exact same order that I randomly created before the show started.
How do we know this is random?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good
Rigged.
question. Yeah, our producer Josh is asking. There's no timestamp. I could have just fabricated the whole.
Yeah, shoot.
Could be screen recording.
Yeah.
It could be a lot.
That would have been. I would have had a lot of reasons to do that.
Stop the steal. Yeah, you would have had a lot of reasons to do that. So I'm going first. Well, I feel like I have to take this one. Number one upset of all time is Larry Owings over Dan Gable, the undefeated, unbeatable Dan Gable. He literally did a commercial. He says, "Come back and watch me win my 3rd national title." It wasn't even a thought that this dude was gonna win it.
I don't think that would have been my 1-1.
Well, you would have been in a deficit.
But good pick. Good pick.
I mean, there's not. Yeah. It's
That
the
would
upset
that
of
see. I picked Owings, Gable, in one of the greatest NCAA finals of all time.
Well, that's the
Both
thing. A
time.
bunch of these, a lot of the ones on my list were also on the best NCAA finals.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's kind of a shocking moment. So it makes for.
I got. You know which one I'm picking. We couldn't say this.
Miles
one
Amin over Aaron Brooks.
We
in the
couldn't-
2022 Big Ten.
It's a great one. We couldn't say this one before because it wasn't an NCAA final, but one of the greatest upsets of all time, especially in recent history. Got to go Matt Ramos over Spencer Lee.
Yep.
Spencer Lee, the only guy going for his 4th to get upset before he was able to do that because Gable was going for his 3rd.
Yeah.
And
That's so the reason I did not go with that one, well, a couple reasons. It's like, on the one hand, Spencer.
before I get to make my pitch, you're just gonna
sorry.
you're just
I'm
gonna
sorry. That was
dog
wrong.
my pick.
I apologize.
Good
It's
pick,
so
Tyler. Good
crazy.
pick,
That was
Tyler. Good
wrong.
pick.
It's
That was
so
wrong.
crazy.
I keep going.
I was there. It was one of the loudest I've ever heard in an NCAA venue. No one saw that coming, man. They had also a crazy match. They did have a crazy match earlier in the season, though, which so maybe some people saw it coming. Why are you pointing at me like you saw it coming?
No, I'm not.
Okay. But Spencer just started going on a tear. He was pinning everyone, like he was wrecking everyone, and then, boom, cement mixer gets pinned.
I think it was a cement mixer.
I'm confusing it with Rob Roan, the greatest pins that just happened. So
Yeah.
forgive me. I don't remember what happened, but
We all blacked out during.
yeah, I blacked out.
Well, yeah, I guess my thought is like Spencer Lee had losses throughout his career. He wasn't undefeated like Dan Gable, and he was put on his back. Wasn't he lateral drop straight to his back in their previous meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, something
I
like
find that to be like, so it's like, I mean, no one was picking. I'm not saying it wasn't a huge, shocking upset, but you're saying it's the greatest upset of all time.
Yeah, sure.
And this is a man who lost 5, 6 times in his career.
Caleb's gonna be so mad at you.
He'd been
when you go home.
He's at camp right now. He's not listening to this. So I'm in the clear.
All right. My first pick. This would have been my 1-1 overall anyways, so I'm not even mad that I fell to 3rd. Rulon over Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Snap.
I know it was a fugazi, lock hands, whatever the rule is. It still happened.
Dang.
It's still unreal. Maybe the greatest upset ever in international wrestling, period. So,
People compare that to the Miracle on Ice.
yeah. I get USA over Russia, too, so,
I think that's a great one.
yep.
That's fantastic.
That's solid.
You're up for another one.
I know. Now I'm deciding if I want to go NCAA or back to international. I'm going back to international. Slay over Satiev.
Ooh, that's fire.
Dang it.
Another GOAT being taken out by an American. Let's go. USA.
That is such a good one.
USA. USA. USA.
Dang it. Yeah.
So if you don't vote for me, you hate America. So
Dang it.
Wow. No, you can't say that.
You might. Nothing we can do. Oh, man. That's so tough because. Wait, so now Tyler's up?
Yeah. Do you have any
Man,
more
going
comments
first
about
is
this one?
actually terrible. No, I mean, I was going to definitely take this one. And
Hey, wait. It goes
like-
back to Tyler.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay.
He's
I
just
thought you were
talking.
about to go.
Like Saitiev, I mean, he won the Olympics in 96 and then lost in 2000 and won in 2004, 2008. That is just an absolutely astonishing run. Truly maybe the greatest ever. And that Slay beat him.
I have a funny story. I have a friend who I will not name, but someone was trying to access like a utility that he had left at the place after he had moved out, and they were trying to switch it in their name. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm trying to intentionally leave names out, but they're basically a security code came up. They're like, okay, we can give you access if you know the security code. And the security question was your childhood hero and is a wrestler. And my friend that was trying to get the information was like, is it Buvaisar Sutiev? And they're like, yeah, that's it. And then he got access to it because this guy had.
That feels like Stevan.
I'm not saying anything.
Stevan.
Now, hopefully now people don't hack him.
Oh, it is.
Mine is I'm gonna go Kendall Cross over Terry Brands, 1996.
That's so good.
Yeah, just Terry Brands, the returning world champ. We made a documentary about this, not about just this moment. It was also
Terry.
Also about.
Was it a massive upset? I know it was a huge match. It was an upset, but I mean,
He'd been able to score on him before. I think sometimes Terry won match one, I think, pretty dominantly, right? And then Kendall.
He looked at his laces.
Yeah.
They were still
They're
tied.
still tied.
Man.
Had to go back. Yeah, no, it's a good question, JD. But yeah, I don't know. It's more the drama maybe than like how much of a favorite it was. But I think it was.
Icons like the winner. He upset him and then went on to win an Olympic. Like it was like whoever won that match, you're like they're the Olympic favorite.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was a huge upset because Kendall Cross. I think everybody maybe knew Kendall Cross was really good too.
Kendall was on the 92 team, right?
I don't know. I remember because I was looking at like how I was going to make this argument, and I looked at Kendall's accolades, and he had no medals prior to 96.
You look up at Kendall. Yeah, I think he was on the Olympic team in 92 and didn't make another team till 96. I mean, he's kind of been there.
And Terry was a 2-time world champion between there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a huge upset, and I am in the lead.
Okay. I think. Am I up for two and then done?
Yep.
Okay.
If we're only going 3,
We're only doing 3.
I want to go 4. I got a long list.
I'm gonna say I feel like this one should have been said, but I also understand why it hasn't. Nick Marable over Jordan Burroughs.
Okay.
Jordan Burroughs, for if you don't know, he started his international career 69-0. He won Worlds. He won the Olympics. He was unbeatable. What? Well, you're shaking your head.
Oh, sorry. Just
Okay.
with the producer,
He
but
shook
also producer Josh was teammates with Nick Marable.
Yeah, that's right. He was. So he knows that this match should not have happened. This result should not have occurred. And we just find out, like, kind of after the fact, it's like Jordan Burroughs lost to Nick Marable by criteria. That this actually happened. The guy that ends the streak, this guy beats Godarzi twice. He beats Sargouche twice. He beats all these guys, Andrew Howe, all these great wrestlers to make the team. And it's Nick Marable who beats him. That's unbelievable. That the idea that match happened and that Nick Marable won is astounding and shocking.
Was that? So I remember it was on criteria. Did he know the criteria? Like who had criteria at the time?
He's never said, "Oh wow, I wrote it." Don't read this article.
It was one heck of a run.
Wow, it was 69 in a row,
Nice.
and
Nice.
I feel like he hadn't lost since when? Because he was undefeated in 2000, his 2011 season. You'd have to go back to Steve Brown loss at Cliff Keen in 2010 for his previous loss. So yeah, total shock for me.
Was that right after the rules change or something? And that's why maybe criteria was unfamiliar? I'm trying to remember.
It was still. I don't remember.
I remember the narrative, at least that I, as a child, told myself because Jordan Burroughs was my hero. I was like, oh, he just didn't know criteria. Like, he just didn't realize.
That was sort of the thought. I don't know if Jordan ever said it.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a crazy loss.
Are we? What?
Someone hacked our televisions.
I hope we're still live.
Was our password Buvesa Sotiev?
No, what? Oh, yes. Are we not live anymore? Josh just said no in my ear. I don't know what that means. Oh, keep
I think
going.
we're good.
We're rolling.
Okay,
I
we're
asked if
good.
we're live. He goes, no.
I think you still have one more, right?
Yeah, I do. This is a tough one. I'm going to go. I got a bunch. I'm going to go DC over Brent Metcalf, 2009.
That was
That's
was probably my next one.
No one thought this was going to happen, guys. Nobody. Except the one guy on the subway that told me he thought he could do it, and I just laughed at him and was like, no way, never. And it just happened.
So I don't have that much context for this because I also had that on my list just because I know how like iconic that match was. But going back, I was trying to figure out if Brent had beat him on the graphic. It said they were both undefeated that season.
They were, but Brent had teched him at the All-Star.
Okay.
So Darian had the crazy Spladle win the year before, and then Metcalf won NCAAs, beating Bubba. And then since then, they wrestled at the All-Star. Brent techs him. Brent is just on his way to his second Hodge Trophy. There's no doubt about it. You're talking about the other weight classes. No one has given this dude a shot, and shame on all of us.
The way he won, too. Coming out, headlocking.
He got the single leg right away for 2, and then he headlocked him, and then he counter-scored him. It was
Shove at the end. Iowa being peak Iowa at this time, winning team titles as well. Everything that's around it, that's why it was on my greatest NCAA finals list.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many ways I could go with this, but we'll have to say some honorable mentions after this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have to go. This is let me paint you a picture.
Okay.
You're
Again.
always with the pictures. Just
Let me paint you a
I
picture.
like it. I like it.
Let me paint you a picture.
He's an artiste.
USA Wrestling.
most of us have the knowledge to know the picture.
USA Wrestling is in a dark age. We're coming off. We're coming off a year, no medals or one medal, no medals in 20.
No medal.
I don't know, you're painting the picture, buddy.
No medals. Then, out from the shadows comes this rising star. He beats Russia's rep, Sargush. Jordan Burroughs goes on to win his first world title, kicks off a new era of USA Wrestling. It all started with this one win over Dennis Sargush in the 2011 World Championships. Goes on to win his first world title. Goes on to have a 69-match win streak that eventually got snapped by Nick Marable, as you mentioned. But
amazing match. I really thought he could do it, and I think a lot of people thought Burroughs could do it.
Yeah.
The run he was on. So I just don't.
You don't think it was an upset?
Amazing match. It's an upset.
Mm-hmm.
An upset. But this is the 9 greatest of all time.
I think the reason that I put this up there is because of the era that it kickstarted.
Yeah. It's things unrelated to upsets. Just more vibes.
I like vibes.
It's a generational thing.
The criteria are intentionally vague.
I like it.
All right.
It's like, whose line is it anyway?
With my last one, I'm going Team USA again, defeating Goat of Goats again. Helen Maroulis taking out.
Oh my
Yoshida.
gosh.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, you all suck. I'm totally winning.
Oh, that's really good.
Freaking JD. I think you won.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Goat of Goats, arguably.
Man, we
Team USA doing it again. JD doing it again.
got absolutely schooled here.
Wow, this picture's great.
I've never conceded defeat in this because I really don't think I've ever lost until today. I'm man enough to admit.
I won.
But you know what? Who
I'm
knows?
gonna get the Instagram vote because I got spent.
Don't put that part. Don't put my concession in the clip. And we'll see who wins in
Look
the
how
polls.
sad, man. What a sad Yoshida.
That was how her career, which is only winning, ended. How insane.
Had never lost, I don't think, internationally. So,
Yeah, and that's how
a
we,
lot of international.
and that's how we won our first
woman
Olympic medal, or
Yes.
gold medal. Crazy.
insane. So
Yeah.
crazy.
Helen's the GOAT for that one.
Can
Absolutely.
I say, you want to go into honorable mentions?
Yeah, I'll read some of mine.
It's honor.
I had Loudon Swain beating defending state champion Brian.
my gosh,
That was really good.
that's great.
Right, that's an upset.
You got the Shane Sparks vote for sure.
I know. Gabe Dean over Ed Ruth. It doesn't look as impressive retroactively.
At the
but
time,
at the time, it was insane.
insane.
absolutely insane. Nobody knew who Gabe Dean was if you weren't in New York, and Ed Ruth was David Taylor level of greatness. I had the mayor, Kyle Connell, beating Colin Moore twice
That was crazy.
in the same tournament.
Oh, well, don't take them all because I don't want you.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we'll just kind of rotate it.
Okay.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I have some honorable mentions.
Okay,
So
well-
here's one. Oh, you want to go?
Well, my first one is Arnold Schwarzenegger over the Predator. Since we're doing movies,
Oh wow,
that was a big upset.
are they wrestling?
You don't think humans can defeat aliens? Sick, dude.
Not that one.
Wow,
He
not that one.
on the jungle. That guy, that was crazy. But no, seriously, another one I had was Moisey over Gilman.
That was on my list.
Yeah, that's great.
Insane.
So I actually wanted to ask your guys' opinion on this because I was just like, because I don't have as much historical knowledge and I'm just trying to reach for things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to get your opinion on this because I don't remember what documentary I watched where like Iowa was wearing like the 10-year shirts and stuff. So I put on here 1987 Iowa State over Iowa at the NCAAs.
I think that's a great one because Iowa, not only were they were going for their 10th, but they basically had everyone back. They had I think on paper, one of their best teams. Like they had a returning team that was ridiculous. So I think that's a great one.
Our man Kyle Klingman just wrote about that.
Really?
I don't know, 2 days ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I didn't say it is because I looked at the team scores for that tournament and Iowa State kind of beat them by like 30 points. So I was like, oh, maybe this wasn't that big of an upset.
No, I think it was.
I don't know enough of the context for the time.
How'd
certainly
the
going
pool
into
go
that year.
during the year, and that might have.
Yeah. I'll have to read Kyle's article
Yeah.
unless David knows.
Just read it.
Just read it. You know what? Even if David does know, he's not going to say.
Yeah, it's
because
right here. It's on the
We
screen.
want the page view.
There it is.
Yeah.
I had now I would never put this on my list, but a lot of people will say it because we have a lot of fans from Pennsylvania. But Austin DeSanto beating Spencer
I had
Lee
that on my list.
in the PA State Finals. Spencer going for his fourth. DeSanto Vision Quest to beat Spencer Lee.
What about Destrobats over Rutherford? That was pretty brutal.
Oh.
That's a huge.
I don't want. It's out of my mind. I want,
That was one I
Drives
didn't
me
have on my
crazy.
list.
We don't think about that.
Okay.
I want Zane to wrestle that guy again.
I had Kassar beating Colin Moore in the duel.
That was kind of crazy.
That was because Colin Moore was ranked #1 at the time. Kassar was like a backup fringe guy,
He's
basically.
just battling for the spot all year.
Yeah, and if you're from New Jersey, you probably thought this guy was really good, but if you weren't from there and had never seen him compete really at the D1 level, it's like, who is this guy?
Probably not. I think he had never. I want to say he had either never placed or never.
He was one-time qualifier, one-time
Qualified.
champ
Yeah,
in New Jersey.
yeah.
So he won it his senior year, but that was the only year he even qualified. So
You got another honorable mention?
I had. Go ahead.
I had Frank Molinaro versus the 2016 Olympic trials field.
That was kind of a crazy run. If we can do entire tournaments.
if we're doing runs, I also put Andy Daniels, 1978, unseeded, beats Gene Mills in the semis, and then he beats #1 seed Azevedo in the finals.
Wow.
With a pin.
That's a good one.
I had Brooks Taylor, obviously.
That's a good one. I mean, Snyder Gadisov, and Snyder.
I had Snyder.
Sadulayev.
I had both of those on my list.
I think those are great ones.
I didn't consider Snyder over Sadulayev a huge upset at the time.
No, I didn't either.
It's just an epic match.
I had.
We hadn't seen it before, so there was a lot of hype.
If I was gonna say one, I would have said Snyder Gadizov
Yes.
before I said
Yeah.
Snyder.
That's a bigger
Sadulayev.
upset.
Marsteller Burrows, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said that one instead of whatever I said for my third. I don't remember.
Jake really doesn't have an upset. I mean, I think the Cotty loss was, in terms of shock factor, in terms of that being on our radar, that was not on our radar at all.
Yeah.
That was
We
a good
weren't
one.
like, oh, this will be tough. Like, went bad
Miles Martin over Bo Nickel, 2016
for sure.
state finals, 11 seed,
Mm-hmm.
pinning 1 seed.
All right, this is good.
Did we already say Chenzo Aymar the first time?
No,
That felt like a really big upset at
Man.
the time.
that was huge.
That's a great one.
And so was Mackay over Chinzo
Yes.
after
I
that.
had both of those on my list.
Yeah,
Rethford over Stieber, had on there too.
Mhm.
absolutely.
Cade Brock over Cody Brewer.
Oh my god.
Oh my
First
gosh,
match, yeah.
incredible.
There is no way.
No way.
So,
He is slick.
all right, you guys want to move on to questions?
Yeah.
Sure.
So this first one,
Actually, we have a clip.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Go,
why don't
go ahead.
you introduce it?
Okay. Well, me and Connor obviously went to Pennsylvania to cover Bo Bassett, Jack's Forest, but we didn't want it to be too long before we pushed out some content. So Connor edited this video together. It's on YouTube right now. It's inside Bo Bassett's legendary 5 a.m. workout. And we have a little trailer, not a trailer, but a teaser here. It's like the first 45 seconds of the video.
Prepare to be teased.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
How
How you doing?
Wow, look at this place.
Yeah. This is the morning gym where we run our 5 a.m.s and a lot of the home workouts with Keegan and Melvin. So, yeah, we're very blessed to have it. But yeah, that's where the
We
magic
got on
happens.
the docket today, this morning.
So we're up now. It's 4:48 a.m.
That's right.
Yeah.
You gotta take the picture, right?
Right. Yep. I'm gonna take the picture. But other than that, we're gonna get after. We're gonna wrestle a little, sauna, some conditioning. We got our wheelbarrow, so we're fired up. We got a lot going, and excited to stay tuned.
I can't wait to get the behind the scenes of this Twitter post or
Yeah.
Instagram post.
Yeah. Let's get it. Right here, just like this. Boom.
That's how the sausage is made.
Yeah, you see the picture. Now you've seen it. The picture get pictured.
Wow.
Yeah.
Taken.
That's how you no. That's how you say
Nope,
it.
that's how I wanted to say it.
Get pictured.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I watched it. Very good. You guys are gonna dig it. My brother, who doesn't even wrestle, apparently it popped up in his algorithm.
Really?
High praise. Weston goes. I saw. He said, "So Bo Bassett and Melvin Miller are crazy. Awesome video."
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
It
Go
is
watch it
kinda-
on the website or YouTube.
Yep. It's on YouTube, Facebook, website. It might be on Twitter as well. Go check that out. All right. Move on to questions. This one, I love the beginning. It says, Tyler, Attack on Titan is goated. Don't let Spay or Bray derail from the truth because they're super old.
don't.
I added the old part.
Yeah,
He's on the screen. Oh, no.
Yeah, you're a known liar.
Wow.
On a wrestling note, with Sidakov out and Dake never beating a notable Russian in the Olympics, like JB beat Sargush in 2012, do you compare their careers differently now, even after Kyle wins gold?
I think so. I mean, well, to compare them, yeah, you're looking for the differences. So, but I think that is a data point for Jordan that helps him, is that he beat the best Russians, whereas Kyle won't be able to have said that, at least for this Olympic run. Now, we don't know if he's done. And so the career comparison could continue beyond 2024 if Kyle continues, if he gets another crack at Sidakov somehow, some way in the next years. So, but yeah, I think that is absolutely relevant. And then, because they're head-to-head now, how do we view the Jordan Bros Kyle Dake head-to-head series? Do we say that's kind of a wash at this point?
Yes. That's how I view it.
What do you mean, wash?
Okay, like it's kind of balances it out.
Jordan won in the first half,
Jordan
Kyle won
early,
in the second half.
Kyle late.
I mean, I think you always are going to have the argument that Jordan's older and that he just kind of aged out of being able to compete with Kyle.
That is, I think, so the people that will not say that it's negated, I think should rightly say height of Jordan Burroughs' powers versus height of Kyle Dake's powers, who would win? And I think it's Jordan, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll never
I think that's
know.
where I'd lean.
I feel like that's what you kind of got to say, right?
It does feel
Well, I don't
certain that
know.
Kyle never.
What is
beat
the height
best
of
Jordan?
What is the height of Kyle Dake's power?
I don't think it was 2012, though.
Okay, but when was
Well,
it?
yeah, I mean they wrestled in 17.
That's true. That's true.
So it's like the height of Kyle Dake, I think, was really 18 to now,
Yeah.
right? And Jordan's was 11 through, I'd say, 17.
Pick Kyle Dake's best year. What was it?
It's tough to say because, like, who did he really beat in his best year?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He has never, correct me if I'm wrong, he's never beat a Russian at 74 kilos. Correct?
Not at
Or
Worlds.
incorrect?
Well, in
Special Olympics. At 74.
well, I'm sure he has. In 2021, he never wrestled a Russian. In 2022,
I guess I mean their starter.
He lost to Sidakov
he never beat Sidakov in 23, but in 21, Russia was there.
at Worlds.
Yes,
Sidakov didn't go. I don't know.
I
can't
know,
remember
but they
who-
had a guy.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see what I can find out here. 2020.
He hasn't beat their starter at 74. Something that
The
Jordan,
guy we view as the best.
yeah, something that Jordan had to do
Mhm.
many times.
did do.
Bizhoev was bronze for Russia in 2021. So was he on the other side from Dake?
Perhaps.
Yeah. So he didn't beat him, but he did beat Big Salk, who beat him.
Yes. Okay. Good question.
So, yeah, I guess the only way you can compare them is by doing that, and I think Jordan has the edge.
Kind of speaking on this, I listened to part of the show Monday, and I think y'all went a little too easy on how much pushback there's going to be from wrestling fans on the asterisks if, hopefully, when Dake wins.
You think there's definitely is going to be an asterisk?
Well, yeah, I mean, Christian, you said there's nothing to show that these guys couldn't win the brackets with a minute, but there is. Cal Dake has been in the same bracket as this man twice and has been able to win.
Say that they couldn't, that they're incapable of.
And I would say that there is data to maybe say that because they have been in the same bracket twice and Cal Dake has not been able to win.
Well, the word is incapable. He's not incapable of winning
Sure.
the bracket.
He is, I guess, capable of beating Sidakov, but
He's not the favorite.
yeah.
I said that.
And I think your point was good, Tyler, that the casual fan won't even know because you just said Olympic gold medal. But if you're listening to the show, you're probably not a casual fan.
I think it comes down to, like, you compare guys head to head like we just did. Like, that is always going to be a topic of conversation. Like, who they beat is going to matter. But in terms of little kids growing up and, like, who their favorite wrestler is, if Kyle Dake wins an Olympic gold, it won't matter to them.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And the farther and farther away you get removed from it, the less that comes up. But really, they should almost be hoping that Russia doesn't send the athletes that got approved because still to this day, 40 years later, anytime 1984 gets mentioned, we say, yeah, but. And I know it's different because that was one Soviet Union. There weren't transfers and everything. But still, anytime somebody says, at least, in the hardcore wrestling world, 1984, yes, but Russia wasn't there.
I meant to put this in the doc and forgot, but in this topic, when we think about 74 kilograms now, no Sidakov, no Kadi, who is the second best guy there to take? Who is the number one? Is it like a Valiev? Is it Salk?
Big Salk. Yeah, maybe if
Japan's
Chimizo gets in, hold on.
Takatani.
Well, he lost.
I feel like Chimizo, he looks mailed in to me.
A little bit.
Was it Imami? Is he?
Oh yeah, we got the rankings here for. These are Kozak's Olympic rankings. Dake 1, Takatani 2, Big Salk 3.
Zamalov probably.
Oh yeah, Zamalov.
He's ranked 4th.
I would say
very high on Zamalov. Yeah.
So we probably
Liev's
agree.
really tough too.
So for people who maybe weren't listening to the other show where we previewed it, Zamalov used to wrestle for Russia, recent transfer out, and this will be his first opportunity to compete at a Worlds or Olympics because he's always been stuck behind guys like Sidakov. So he's definitely a guy to keep an eye out for.
I feel like the transfer is just going to accelerate from here. I mean, there's so many good guys that are like, it used to be like you had to be way down the rung and before you would transfer. Now it's like number 2, number 3 guys. I mean, Valiev and
Do you see any policy change to make it harder?
I think I think they will. I don't know how much they'll be able to control.
Russia has probably the most pull out of any country with UWW. Yes? No?
I wouldn't say that.
No.
Are you asking for if there's going to be a UWW policy change or a Russia policy change?
UWW.
I don't think so.
I think this is good for UWW.
Yeah, I think I do
Yeah,
too.
I guess so.
It only hurts Russia, and I think they're always going to have good guys. But the question will be, and it's a question I raised with Tazudinov, how does a potentially change now? Gatsalov, who's the head freestyle coach, said no more training with the
Team.
guys like the Tazudinovs and the Valievs and those types. They got to go elsewhere.
Well, he said for the official
Camp.
training camps.
Exactly.
They can still be in Dagestan and train at their clubs and do whatever at their
That's what I'm
individual
wondering.
places as much as they want, I believe. I think it's
They
once
still
the
do, I've seen.
once the
videos.
team gets named and once you're at like the senior team camps, those guys are not allowed.
That
But they
was the
still
way I
are
understood it.
living there and training with those guys.
So they
all the time.
really get the main benefits of being
Yes.
in Russia. So that's maybe something that they amend or they change.
Yeah.
Like,
Who knows?
but I don't know if they can how much
How?
control.
I think the athletes want it this way. You can't. Yeah, it's just it'd be a very anti-athlete stance to kind of shut these down.
It's kind of crazy because last Worlds was the first Worlds where like Russian starters were like really losing to guys that transferred. Like you had Tazudinov beating Sadulayev, Abakarov beat Uguyev,
People's champ
Usakayev won.
He wrestled Mamedov?
I believe he beat Mamedov.
Mm-hmm. He did in like the quarters.
Like more than, it's not just people probably just look at Tazudinov and Sadulayev, but it's more than that. It's a lot. It was more than one weight. So,
crazy.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, moving on. If Jax and Bo decided on a non-power program team together, such as a Nebraska or Missouri, would they draw enough talent and have a big enough impact to win that team an NCAA title in their 4 years? I think calling Nebraska or Missouri a non-power program is
well, I mean, when's the last
blue blood, non-blue blood?
Yeah, I mean, when's the last time one of those teams won a trophy? It's been a minute.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler, don't try to downplay this question by Brendan Incorporated.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but I get why that was my reaction when I read it too, though. I was like, well, hold on. Like, there are certainly elite programs, but I get what he's saying.
He's talking about a title.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you had two guys like that. The question is, and I think what he's sort of getting at is like, how much pull are they going to have for other wrestlers? Does Bo and Jax, if they go together, is Melvin Miller for sure going there? And does that pull in other guys from other, is there that draw? And that's what I don't know and wouldn't suppose. I don't think it would be enough to get them over the hump.
So I have a question for you guys about Bo and Jax. Like, if Bo and Jax went to a school, you talk about how these are guys that like probably want to be stars, like they want to be at a place where there's like a ton of attention, or they want to turn the tide of a program, whatever it is. And right now you see there's only maybe 2 schools that you can like really be a superstar wrestler at. Are there any schools out there right now where you think the groundwork is there where maybe they could become that? Like, they could become a school where you can have superstar wrestlers, where you're going to sell out your venue every time, where, because Penn State wasn't like that until Cale got there, right?
Oh, yeah.
So are there any schools out there that are in a similar situation like that, where, okay, maybe no one's being a superstar at that school now, but you get Bo and Jax Forrest there, and now they're selling out their duels, and
So obviously the ones you're talking about are Iowa, Penn State. I would say Oklahoma State. I would say Ohio State.
Iowa State.
Do you consider them? I don't consider them in that same tier.
I mean, if you're asking, is there a place where there's a groundwork laid for you to all of a sudden sell out? I think Iowa State's exactly that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
If it's that criteria, it is not in the same tier as your Iowa, Penn State.
No, not yet.
But, a freaking Rutgers, man. Jersey Mike's Arena, that place gets rocked.
What I want to know is there a place that it can become your Iowa or your Penn State?
I don't think you can do that with just athletes.
Yeah.
You need sustained greatness among.
We're talking about 5 years.
You can go be a star there, but for a team, it has to be team greatness for a sustained amount of time.
Okay. Well, what if they brought in a team? Like, what if they had enough?
It would have to be. It would have to span multiple recruiting years.
It took Cale
it would
2
be
years.
Yes, but then he continued to do it. If they fell off after David and Ed Ruth, they don't become.
Yeah, but they were stars at Penn State immediately, and Penn State was that team. So I guess I'm asking. I don't care if they can fall off later. Like, while those guys are there, is there a school that could happen at?
I think. Okay, well, you're asking if a school has that much success and continues to have that much success, or a school where you can have that much success.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to spend too much time on that. Who are your sleeper picks for the class of 2024? What guys are not in the top 25 but have a chance to put up great results?
I want to kick it to Bray.
Yeah. So, all right. One guy that I think he's had a pretty good high school career, but has had a couple reasons that he's maybe fallen down the big board a little bit is Sean Taylor. He's from the same high school as West Virginia's current best wrestler, Ty Waters, and he's going to West Virginia. He lost a really weird state finals match as a junior.
Yes.
On like a super
weird,
stalling calls for like standing up, a weird high school rule. And then he was injured this year for the postseason, so didn't get to compete. He's number 79 on the big board, but I think Sean Taylor is the type of athlete that could have a whole lot of success. So he's one guy that I would keep eyes on that I don't think anybody's probably thinking a whole lot about. Just he's been out of the spotlight. And then probably the other guy that I'm interested to see, he's going to Cornell, Cash Henderson. He's from Utah. He made a really big splash a couple years ago at Fargo. And since then, he's had some up and down results a little bit, but I just think when he gets into an environment like the one in Cornell, I think he is going to do well. And you've seen Cornell have a lot of success, especially, I don't know, that 184 range, 197. I think they can really develop a guy like that. So those are a couple guys that are in like the 70s on the big board that I would keep an eye on.
Good stuff.
Great. Can we take the L Beth's tweet up? Because I don't want, when this gets clipped out, I don't want it to seem like I'm the one asking this question. Is it up? Is it up? We got it up. Okay. It's not up yet. Can we get it up? Okay. Is it actually hurting AJ that he has 3 years left in eligibility as opposed to 1 or 2? Heck, even John Smith was able to grind out 1 full season of fast twitch antics.
1 and 3/4 seasons. I don't know if it hurts or helps. I think anymore, and especially with AJ, everything's year to year, right? So you look at it like, hey, come in for next year, do great, and then if it goes great, next year. But like, as far as your own team planning around AJ Ferrari, like you should recruit 197 pounders and heavyweights, like always.
I think
don't be like, oh, we got him for 3 years. We don't need.
The fact that you could potentially get him for 3 years is a nice little sales pitch for him.
Mm-hmm.
The teams.
I think this person is asking if it's like it's hurting him that he has 3 years because like maybe it's hard to. This person is implying that it's hard to deal with an AJ for 3 years.
Of course, yeah, and that's why I'm saying like, no, because any coach, if I'm a coach, I'm recruiting AJ. It's like, okay, we're bringing him in for this year, and whatever if something happens afterwards, then we're ready. You need to go into it with clear boundaries and lines, and what happens if this happens, and that way there's a.
That's kind of what happened to Iowa, yeah.
I don't know what happened at Iowa.
I think this question is, there's two parts of it. There's the part about AJ and him as a recruit, but then there's the other part of the question, which is really asking about like the nature of the transfer portal in general and what does it mean to get a 1 year athlete versus a 3 year athlete in general. And I mean, look at Michigan last year. They brought in a bunch of 1 year guys. That doesn't necessarily disrupt the team in the same way. If it's like, hey, we're going to bring in NCAA champion Shane Griffith, and that means somebody else that would have been in the lineup is not. It's 1 year. If you're like, hey, we're going to bring somebody in that's got 3 years left, all of a sudden, you're not thinking about, oh man, now maybe I only get to start for 3 years. It's like, now maybe I don't get to start at all, or I only get to start for 1 year. So I think that's part of the equation too, and it probably limits the schools that are going to reach out to somebody if they know this guy has this many years, and it's going to depend on their depth chart. It's going to depend how much money and resources they've committed to other athletes. So I do think that there are schools that are specifically looking for 1 year guys, and then other schools that are like, man, we've got a hole at this weight altogether. 3 year guy makes the most sense.
Yeah. On the AJ note, this almost there asked, any chance AJ's brother, Angelo specifically, follows him to whichever school he ends up at?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's remotely being considered.
Okay.
Angelo's a Hawk.
Angelo just posted, I think within the last day or two, like photos in Hawk gear again and stuff. So yeah, he's in.
Cool. As a former teammate to JD, this is Chase White. As a former teammate to JD, I request that we get rid of the segment Monday Blues. Everyone already knows Mondays suck, so how about a little positivity on a Monday? I will have to refrain from listening to Monday shows until the segment is buried in a grave respectfully. Well,
don't let the door hit you on the way out, Chase.
Later, Chase.
We're going to bury you in a grave and then
a little camaraderie on a Monday.
Yeah.
We all suffer together.
Yeah. It ain't that serious.
Yeah.
I like Monday Blues.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the haps with DT? It's been quiet. Also, who is the future CP at Flow? TBH, I'm super happy to see the young guys who have a passion for the sport and care. Man, it's a great time to be a fan. Thoughts on Caden Henschel? Partnerships?
All right, a lot going on here.
Simple question.
DT's, I mean, it was noisy for a while. There was a lot happening. At some point, like, they just had, it's not been that quiet. I mean, Carroll hit the portal a week and a half ago, and
They picked up a couple.
they picked up Cam Amin. Like, I think it's a quiet, it should be a quiet time of season for
Also,
almost.
it hasn't been quiet. Like, I don't think. Like
I think
you
this
said,
guy just wants more stuff to happen.
Yeah.
Why not? That'd be great.
He wants us to go back up to Stillwater.
Oh, I don't blame him for that.
It's
Hey, for this guy, I will be with David Taylor this weekend in Fresno, California.
Yes.
There you go.
With Connor.
With Connor.
As we doing some cool video stuff, yeah?
Yeah, there's a wrestling camp out there. There's going to be a
Magic
lot
camp.
of college coaches. Yeah, Connor and me are going to Magic Camp. The Sweet Prince and me.
I think that's another reason it's quiet. Like those camp days are crazy for these coaches.
Oh, yeah, they're literally doing camps right now.
Yeah, Oklahoma
Doing
State.
camps at Oklahoma State.
Do
Yeah,
you
those are long
believe in
days, for
Magic.
sure. So, yeah. Now, there's stuff that people like the young guys, the young flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
All right. This one is from Spay. He said, Tyler claims this show is not supposed to be funny, and he clipped out an out of context clip from Attack on Titan.
These are, no, there's not, it's not out of
If you're
context.
just listening to this, there's a bunch of naked people.
Naked
just
giant
running
nude.
and
It's
screaming.
really funny. I don't know if you can zoom in on we have this printed out. It's so funny seeing this like printed. Also, Christian, you printed this in color.
I know. I realized
After giving me such a hard time
Yeah.
about printing in
Trying to be
color.
consistent. I screenshotted at that exact moment.
The guy's also running like an anime guy.
the guy's going
naked.
6-shooters up at the like.
Why do you watch this, Tyler?
It's ridiculous.
It's a really good show, and a lot of people are coming to bat for me. In the
Yeah,
comments.
honestly, there were a bunch of anime questions after that.
It's a great show.
Can't-
Well, that's all we have for questions.
Bachelor is like the most popular show on TV. That
Yeah.
good.
Bachelor is great. I've never watched The Bachelor, but I'm sure it's great. CP, I forgot. Well, actually, it's your fault because you never kicked it to me at the beginning of the show. But where people can watch
Oh
the
shoot!
show.
I didn't kick it.
We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on FlowWrestling.org. We're on the Flow Sports app. We're on Twitter sometimes.
Yeah, every now and again.
Am I missing one? this
Apple,
time?
Spotify.
Oh yeah, and Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
If you want to watch on video, you can't do it on. You can actually put videos on Spotify. We should look.
We
into
used
that.
to.
We used to.
Used to could.
You
But
can't do it anymore.
We can talk off air. It's a
Okay,
story.
It's a pretty exciting
we'll,
story.
we'll do it another time.
That's a good point. But I was looking to read reviews on Spotify, but you can't. I guess you can't type reviews on Spotify. You just give the
you just
stars.
rating.
Oh really?
But we have a 4.9 rating on
iTunes.
Spotify.
iTunes is where you.
You can leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, and we will read it if it's good.
4.9 out of 10.
It's actually out of 5. I thought
better.
that too, but it's actually out of 5.
Love it.
Fantastic.
That's not bad. Okay.
That's it.
What else? We got junior duels going on. Greco and women's junior duels are happening now. And then
Freestyle starts tomorrow, baby.
there it is. So that'll be happening. We'll have some live previews of that, some social coverage. So should be excited. Wisconsin sending a squad, David Bray?
Bunch of
The A team?
Yeah, a bunch of squads actually. I think on the boys side of things, there are 50 or 60 nationally ranked wrestlers. So we're going to see some great individual matchups, and then on the girls side of things, it's like 130 nationally ranked wrestlers. So tons of great action.
cow.
JD's repping Team Iowa. He's
Iowa.
Wow.
pretty sure
That shirt is so
Let's
cool.
go.
I wish there was a shirt like that for Virginia that I could wear.
If you look hard enough, you could probably find one.
Shirt like JD's that's Virginia, though. I'll just Google that.
Sure, you'll get great results.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with Google. All right, we're going to go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be back on Monday. We have a sponsored show on Monday. Did you guys hear about this?
Who is it?
So they didn't pay for this episode.
Right, no free pub. You're gonna have to tune in.
You're going to have to
Find
tune in
out.
to find out
Get
our
that code.
sponsor. To get that code.
Fantastic.
But other than that, I hope everyone has a great weekend. Tyler's going to Las Vegas.
It's the first time I'm going to Vegas, not for a wrestling purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hope you have a fun and good time.
Thank you.
JD, lay low. Stay healthy.
I'll be in Fresno.
Oh, that's right. Magic Camp. That'll be good.
Yep, Magic
That'll be
Camp.
good. Well, you got games this weekend?
Baseball tournament, baby.
Yeah, we do too. and musical. We got Beauty and the Beast and baseball tournaments.
That's what I'm talking about.
So it's quite a show, quite a weekend. So that's our plans. We'll see you Monday. We'll let you know how that goes. What?
I'm just laughing at
You get the last word.
No, okay, bye.